Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Right Time, a Wave Sports and Entertainment original presented by Prize Picks. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars. I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. It is Foxworth Friday. Dominique Foxworth, what's going on?
Nah, man. You think Mike Tyson get some residuals off of that, some licensing, or nah? Because I feel like I would be hesitant to approve a shirt like that if I was Iron Mike.
No. I believe that he also does the Kiss shirts, right? Like the Kiss joints that look like Kiss. So true story about this shirt. And for those of you who are listening on audio, it is a shirt with Mike Tyson on it that says "Thuns out, guns out, thuns out." You know what I'm saying? And Pablo and I, when we agreed to do High Noon, we kind of did a tour where we went and did a lot of the other buddy cop shows as guest stars to let people know that we was out here, right? So like we did First Take together, for example, and we did PTI. And so we're at the PTI offices. We got in off the Amtrak, we there. And then it's like, yo, let's go get something to eat. So we going to get something to eat. And this intern got in the elevator with us, dude named Amir. Amir's kind of Jack Diesel, right? He had a little situation going on. And so we in the elevator and he looks at me and he says, "Oh yeah, man, that shirt, I see it, man. That's my dad's shirt." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Dude's kind of kept it moving. And then we got out the elevator. He went one way, I went the other way. And Pablo looks at me and goes, "Did he just say Mike Tyson was his dad?" Because that was the exact same thought I had. And so I'm like, I think so. But I also had the thought at that time that you had in this moment, which was, does he think this is funny? Does he, if Mike Tyson is his father, which was the case, does he find these jokes about his father's speech impediment to be funny? I don't really know, but I'm here wearing this shirt.
What was it? So in the moment, you were just like, we're just not going to speak about it and hope we get out of here. Because if he's swole and he's the son of a fighter, I feel like my immediate thing is like, oh, it's all in good fun. I'm just joking, man. He's a great fighter. I started talking about career highlights. I don't know.
No, but the thing was, I wasn't even sure. I wasn't sure if he was saying what I thought he was saying.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like having a clarification. And I didn't think it was appropriate to respond with, "Wait, what'd you say?" Right? So I just kind of, let it roll and then later gathered up the information on how all of this happened. But yeah, he was Mike Tyson's son. And again, I just didn't know if he knew about these jokes.
Yeah, that's my dad's shirt. Feels like I went to school in Massachusetts. It's like you are saying, it's like you are saying that no one who went to school in Massachusetts says they went to school in Massachusetts unless they went to Harvard. Like, you don't be like, UMass. Like, no, that's not what you do. But like, I feel like you don't look at a shirt with Mike Tyson on it and say that's my dad's shirt unless your dad is Mike Tyson.
I didn't know if his dad owned a t-shirt company. Like his last name might have been Gilden, right? Like I didn't really know. And I would also say, I hear about this. I went to school in Massachusetts thing, and I ain't met none of them people. Them people went to Harvard. As I say, they didn't go to Harvard to not tell you that they went to Harvard.
Fair point. Is that the equivalent of like an iced out chain? It's like, you are definitely, the only reason why you bought that chain is so people can recognize that you in this paper.
No, you can go back and you can check like some interviews and things I said when High Noon was starting. And I was like, yo, man, if this goes the way I want to, man, ain't nobody ever going to even say Pablo went to Harvard ever again. And I completely misunderstood that was not, I repeat, not what he was looking for. I looked at that as we going to rise above the resume. He was like, nah, dog, this is what I walk in with. He's like, no.
It's like I lead with former player. There's some automatic, credibility that I get whether I deserve it or not. The funny thing is, like, often, even on my own show, Charlie will ask me, to get into the mind of some like superstar player, and I'm like, Charlie, the difference between Tom Brady and me is the same difference as me and you. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, I could guess, but I'm not like that. And then I tell the story of Ray Lewis, how he was just he was definitely not like us. And I was like, I look at him and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I can't tap into that. That's why I'm here sitting across from you on a video screen having a conversation about Mike Tyson's thuns.
Look, I will never forget with Derrick Rose, it was taking a while for Derrick Rose to come back, and that is getting ugly. And they went and asked Joakim Noah at some point about like how you feel about Derrick Rose taking all this time. And it was basically like, what if it was you? And he was like, dude, it's not me. It's Derrick Rose. Like, he and I do not live the same life situation and circumstance.
You gotta be, everybody understand. Well, not everyone, but like, you gotta accept some level of hierarchy if you are going to function inside an organization. And yeah, some people are not like us. And that feels like the theme of the weekend or the week.
He's like, dog, you think I feel like playing through these injuries?
Exactly.
Like, you think I want to do this? This shit hurt like a motherfucker. You think this is what I want to do? No, if I didn't have to, I would not. Guess what? Yep. He ain't got to do this.
That was one of the first lessons that Champ told me was like, it's the difference between being tough and dumb tough. And I was like, Champ, bruh, I gotta be dumb tough. That's why I'm here. I'm here to allow you to be tough. I gotta be dumb tough. I gotta let my broke ass out there and make something happen till we get these checks, till we get these big checks. Crazy. I remember one of our coaches used to like nicknamed him 60 because his contract was worth 60 million. And that was a big deal. Whew. That's a season for some of these quarterbacks these days.
It's a mere pittance. Yo, I keep looking at this and they asking these questions about what the Cowboys going to do with Dak Prescott. Are the Cowboys going to move on, or are they going to pay Dak Prescott? What do you think they going to do? I was like, let me tell you what they not going to do. Not have no quarterback. I'll let you know that right now. Like, I don't like it. CeeDee Lamb, is Micah Parsons, is him. They can't pay them all. I don't know if they can or can't pay them all. But I know the first one they going to pay. And it's the one that throw that ball. And they ain't about to find... Look, they have had good luck basically the last 20 years or somewhere around there on quarterbacks, right? Like, they've had a quarterback for almost the last 20 years. It's really impressive. And guess what? They got lucky both times. Lucky. They ain't go like they not the guys that can go out there and be like, nah, that's cool. We'll go find one. They be coming back like, yo, you'll never believe what I found at the flea market.
I mean, so there's a couple reasons why they got to pay Dak. The one is the quarterback one, and the other one is like these other guys are coming off of their first deal. So when you pay them, it's gonna hurt your salary cap. The fact of the matter is, when you pay Dak, you're gonna free up space, because he got a big number that you can amortize over 5 seasons. And right now, so that's the thing that confuses me about this. In the games that they've been playing with Dak for his entire career, it's never benefited y'all to play tough with someone who know that you can't play tough. Yeah, I don't know. It's like you a 6'5" dude who's jacked and brown skin with green eyes, and you in a club by yourself, and the ladies try to roll their eyes at you. I'm good. Like, nah. Like, that is what Dak Prescott is. Go out there and get in that desert if you want to.
he's like, don't worry. I'll wait.
Yeah, he got a no trade clause and a no franchise clause. I'll wait.
And he don't be getting his feelings hurt. Like, they made him wait the last time. He just kind of like, it's cool. I'll wait. Bro, the last time they had to pay him when his leg was in 4 different pieces.
Some part of him, his brother or somebody in his camp, got to be like, man, just go somewhere else and let these fools feel what it really be like out here. Because I accept that you can be frustrated with Dak Prescott because of some of his playoff performances. But come on, guys, you don't really want to go out in that wilderness.
He what y'all got. Y'all, I know it don't feel this way, but y'all lucky to have him.
So lucky.
The problem is, as I say, they've had a good quarterback for the last 20 years. Problem is, they've had the same level type of quarterback for the last 20 years. A really, really, really good quarterback that appears to be unhump worthy. He cannot quite get you over the humperino. They've had the same guy for 20 years. And like Tony Romo would just have those blank out games at the end of the year, right? Like the season's on the line and then he'd blank out. Then he did it right that one time, but they didn't give Dez Bryant the credit for that catch that one time. And then when Tony Romo was the best he'd ever been, he went out there and got his back broke And then they brought in new Tony Romo.
Yeah, he balled all the way out. It has been like he hasn't been, I don't know. It's confusing to me the point of this strategy and that they haven't seemed to learn from it. And what makes it even more confusing is this has actually been one of the better run organizations in professional sports, or at least in pro football for the last couple of decades. Why they can't get this one right, I don't understand. They keep drafting ballers. They keep having an impressive roster that supports their team. They can't finish in the playoffs, which is fine. It's single elimination, and they had some goofy ass coaches every now and then. But why they keep messing this quarterback thing up? That's beyond me.
Is it Jerry or is it Steven, right? Like that, I mean, because they always have this thing, right? We love to blame Jerry for everything, but we acknowledge Stephen Jones runs a whole lot of this. And what seems so odd to me about the way they do it, though, is that they always do this in a way where they're like, don't worry, we'll get it done, right? Like they have a recognition. They have no problem telling the world, no, we are going to pay him. It's just about the particulars of how it is that we going to pay him. And then they go behind closed doors and act like they're not going to pay him. And I feel like normally it go into reverse.
Yeah, I don't know. And this is like some real conspiracy theory type stuff. It's not even that deep conspiracy theory. It's just messing with the money in a way that I don't get. But I do know, we all know Jerry Jones understands how to market a team. He understands it's important to be in the media and in a LeBron Jamesian type way before LeBron James. Jerry Jones is very comfortable with saying the exact right thing to give us a week to talk about him, which increases the value of his team. And he understands that. And he knows that there's nothing more like attention grabbing in the offseason is a nice quarterback controversy. And I don't think that he that dumb, or that smart, or I guess the question is, how much does he care about the franchise value relative to winning a Super Bowl? Because I don't think it helps you get close to a championship, but it does help you be more popular.
But also, is Jerry in that manner you speak of? Is Jerry sophisticated enough to recognize that it's even easier to start a quarterback controversy when you got a black one? Right? Like, does Jerry know that even though he knows he's going to pay this dude and Dak knows he going to pay this dude, everybody that does our job is just waiting for a whiff of, oh, I don't know, maybe they can bring in Cooper Rush. Remember, there was some moments when people were out here acting like, well, they can just keep Cooper Rush.
No.
Nobody else in the league tried to get no Cooper Rush, but they really was kind of like, oh, but hold up, Dominique, they can't do that now, though.
Because they went and got Trey.
They went and got Trey Lance. They out here living like the Browns.
Like the Browns, like every other reasonable organization that has a starting black quarterback.
Yes, but the Browns are a little more dedicated. They had to get Joe Flacco up out of there. Like they had to look around and realize this is an untenable situation as long as this man is staying here. Joe Flacco quietly was not good last year. It was exciting, but it wasn't like the good kind of it was the good kind of exciting, but it wasn't an exciting kind of good. It was just exciting.
Did he do something like throw 3 interceptions in a row in the playoff game?
Yes.
Like 2 pick sixes or something. So That's a rough way to end. And I'm sure nobody was happier than the Browns brass watching that. But yes. I think you can't, nobody went harder than Baltimore. Like,
no.
They went full black quarterback room. They got black coach just in case y'all get any ideas about this former quarterback stepping in. We gonna go black coach on y'all ass too.
You're right. They got it all. The Browns. Instead, the Browns went and got Baca to put behind Deshaun Watson. Which one of them is Baca? Is it Deshaun Watson on nasty ass or is it Jameis? Which one of them is Baca?
Oh gosh, why is he around?
Yo, man, by the way, we're going to talk about this concert, and I'm going to throw something out there early. Somebody raised the question of how can this be about like chastising an abuser and you then have Dr. Dre around? That is a fair question. The answer to that is because this isn't really about chastising an abuser. This is about getting the sucker out to pay. You are not wrong in your point. This is not ideologically consistent. That's not the ideology that is at the center of what we're talking about. So before you ask that question, I do not want to dismiss anybody and their feelings on that matter as it relates to Dr. Dre. It has been discussed. It has been stipulated too. But we ain't going to talk about that part no more because that's really not what happened there in LA. Dominique, I woke up the morning after that concert and I felt like I went. Like, you know how it feels when you had a good night, but it was a long night and it was on a school night and you still got to go to work, but you just get up and you're a little groggy, right? But you get over there to go do your workout, but you're like, damn, I had a good time last night. That's how I felt from watching that concert.
That no regrets fatigue is like, because sometimes you have that regret fatigue where you've been out too long, and it wasn't worth it.
I tell you right now, man, this is not fatigue. It was exhilarating. Like, somebody asked me something. I was talking to a friend of mine about the concert, and she was saying how she didn't really care and I understood where she was coming from. She's like, I don't really enjoy Kendrick that much. And I myself am not a huge Kendrick fan, but like, I ain't here for this Drake shit. But I'm not a huge Kendrick fan, but he is a monster live. And I knew that. I haven't even been to a concert, but it's been clear. If you've ever watched him live on an award show or anything else, he's a monster live. So like, okay, you tell me he's doing a concert on Juneteenth and it's in the midst of all of this madness. The only reason to do this is to be on this other dude's neck. You ain't got no album out. I ain't heard nothing about no tour, but you gonna set up at the Forum. And I'm like, oh, you're just like, okay, I guess you're going to be on his neck. Got it. Dominique, I didn't think he was going to start with Euphoria. Like you didn't give us a chance to even warm up. Like, you came out on one knee and you started with Euphoria.
He left money on the table all for the purpose of, because normally you do something like this because you are ramping up for something. You generate all this attention so that people can then go stream your brand new album, or they can buy tickets to your tour. He was like, nah, I'm gonna leave them millions on the table because we gonna step on your neck. He was like, I'm gonna do a whole rollout, and the rollout is for your assassination.
As a city, where I am going to unify my consistently fractured city. Your city is fractured all the time. I am going to bring it together. Like, they had every dude from LA. Like, I ain't watched too much of the opening act, right? All the different people that was coming up. But somebody had told me that, who knows that scene out there. He was like, yo, he brought a lot of dudes that like I've heard of because he works in the game. Right. But just like, he had every LA rapper, basically every LA rapper except the Game was up there doing a little song here, a little song there, whatever it is. Tyler, the Creator, comes out there. It was rocking in there. Right. Like, this was just like a full on tribute to West Coast hip hop in itself. He had all them folks out there. And then he just decided, I'm going to start on this dude's neck. Then I want to say he came after that with DNA and Element. And it's like, hey, man, starting to think that all these songs were about Drake in the first place. He come out there with All Right, and it's kind of like, I wonder if even Drake even really is into this song or gets what's going on. And then at some point, I'm like, is he gonna do the Al Green song? I don't even think they cleared the sample for that. That one ain't even on the streaming services. He gonna do the Al Green song just to do it. He does the Al Green song. Oh, okay. He gave us Humble. I forgot he does Humble. Ooh, boy, that sure felt like it was about Drake. Okay, let's keep going. He runs through all these songs, and then he brings Dr. Dre out, right? Which is an amazing flex. Like, let's just go ahead and throw that part out there. That is a wild flex that, like, I can bring Dr. Dre out here and we gonna do Still DRE, and then Dr. Dre is gonna whisper, I see dead people, and Not Like Us get started. And I looked at the clock and it was 10:30, and I was like, they're going to play this song for a whole half hour. And you know how I knew they were going to play it for a whole half hour? Because what else you supposed to do?
Yeah.
What song you supposed to play after you, Dominique, he played it for. He did the first verse, he did the A minor, and let that go until the echo of the whistle was imperceptible. He let it sit there for like 2 minutes and then didn't keep going with the song, brought it back so they could do it again, and then let it hang out there again, and then did the song. And then by the time it was over, as a friend of mine called it, it was gang chella, it was bang chella, right? It was goon teeth. It was every every subset of every gang. I said it was every blood type, it was every shade of blue, and it was some dude with a Sashomi Nakamoto t-shirt on. Satoshi, whatever you say, the Bitcoin man t-shirt out there. It was, somebody said, forget praise dancers. It was hate dancers. They had hate dancers out there. It was children out there. Children.
They had the dude with the clown hair out there too. Yes. What kept popping up in my mind was, how long has he been thinking about and planning this beef? Because, you know, like Drake was like, oh, we beefing? Okay, let me put out some tracks. Kendrick was like, no, I have thought about this since my first song that was Subbing You, and I've been planning this since then. You don't rent the forum at the beginning of a beef. The forum has been booked prior to this. He was like, I'm going to build up to this on Juneteenth. How am I going to start this? The only hiccup was J. Cole got involved, and he's like, somehow J. Cole got word, oh no, sir. This is a long plan. So I suggest, right? Like, I suggest that you step back because I got a roadmap. I got like a boxer style game plan for a 12-round fight. And y'all think this is going to be just a street fight. Am I right? Like, he hopped up and was like, oh man, push me at the club. What you don't know is this man has been studying all your club fights for your whole life. And this man had decided on this exact date, I'm going to push him in the club. You know how he going to respond? Don't worry. I already know that he going to start pulling his jab. Then I'm going to start coming with the cross over the top. Like, he had this all mapped out. And then J. Cole came in there and said, hey, let me get involved. No, sir. We got a plan. You get out. It'll be over by June. It'll be over by the end of June. Don't worry. Pop back up then, sir.
I had that same question as you. Like, what was the long play on this, right? How long had you been considering this? Because the concert level is a whole nother part, right? But look, that concert didn't feel rushed, right? Like, that concert, it had a good production value. I want to know who did the actual production on the concert too. Like, did Amazon send their teams and their cameras and their trucks or everything? Or did Amazon give them a check and say, you're on your own for the actual production of the show? Which happens very often, but it was a well-produced show. The sound was amazing. Like, I'm sorry to my neighbors, because we was in this motherfucker knocking, right? But when did he decide this is what I am going to do? When did he decide this is the plan? Because look, the word was the Schoolboy Q when it sent the message to J. Cole and was like, partner, this ain't even about you. Just letting you know this right now. This is not about you. And J. Cole went out there and apologized. And every day, I want to call that man and apologize to him, because his foresight on this matter he is a soothsayer, dog.
Like, you could dissect every step of this, but we don't got time for all that. But what stands out to me in the Not Like Us is how many elements in that did he put in there because he knew that they would resonate? And so this is from someone who's been around performing for a long time and music for a long time and knows what buttons to press. Like the A minor, he knew when he was like, all right, in the show, I'm gonna hit him with the A minor. They're gonna love that. The step this way, step that way. He's like, all right, I'm gonna get it popping on social. With that, okay, I'm gonna do OV ho at the end. They're gonna love to chant that. Oh, I'm gonna call him a fan. They're gonna love, like, you normally put one of those in a song because you're like, all right, this song gonna take off because I'm gonna hit him with the A minor, and then everybody gonna be like, this the A minor song. He put like 7 of them in one song. This man been planning this for a year.
And he couldn't afford to workshop this too much because he's too much talking. You know what I'm saying? Like that was not an option to workshop this and let other people get involved because it would go too far. I will point this out, and I got another question I'm going to ask on the other side of the advertisements, but I do want to throw this out here to Kendrick. This is an interesting insight to him, and in line with what I've been saying, that it sounded like he went to a church with no musical windows. The whole 69 God thing, I do need to tell Kendrick, like, hey, dog, that would, like, I don't know if that really qualifies as being deviant behavior in the way that. But I tell you this, when he's saying in that song, it sounds like Drake is depraved. Right? When he's saying in that song, you're like, ugh. I was like, dog, even your granny know something about that number, right? Even that's not even new. It's 2024, homeboy. Like this, but it don't matter when he's saying like he's saying out there like an LA dude, freaky ass. You were 69 God, 69 God, 69 God. Boy, it be sounding hard. Ooh, it be sounding hard. But all right, we got advertisements coming back with more. With Prize Picks, you can turn $10 into $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite sports this summer. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in as little as 60 seconds. You just need to pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and you're locked in. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. But rather than hearing it from me, let's hear from somebody who actually uses Prize Picks. Sean, how the picks been going for you?
You know, Bo, I was worried about making picks after the finals ends, but Prize Picks has me covered with so many other sporting options from the MLB and the WNBA and even gaming. I can make picks on just about any sport. So, if you stick around for the end of the show, you can hear my combined picks with players potentially like Asia Wilson and Angel Reese or Mookie Betts and Aaron Judge.
There we go. So make sure you go to prizepicks.com/Bomani and use code Bomani for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/Bomani. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Hey, let me put you on real quick. I got something you need to check out. You ever heard of the BLK app? That's BLK, not black, the BLK app. And if not, you're missing out. So check it out. BLK is the largest dating and lifestyle app made specifically for the black community. Now, for those thinking it's just the same old scene, it's not. BLK switched things up. Sure, you can find a boo if that's what you're looking for, but if you're looking just to make friends, network, or group chat with folks based on shared interests, or find out about events happening near you, BLK's got all that too. The app has been around for almost 7 years now, and over 11 million people have downloaded it. That's like the populations of New York City and LA combined. If you've downloaded the app before and deleted it, re-download it because they've introduced a bunch of new features and there's new people to meet on the app. Oh, and did I mention that it's free? Yep, free. So go download BLK today in the App Store or on Google Play. It's free, it's fun, it's for us. Check it out and let me know what you think. What happens when the brightest minds in sports and fashion join forces to create the next great athletic brand? Greatness wins. Greatness Wins athletic clothing has completely transformed my workout game. Founded by e-commerce entrepreneur Chris Riccobono, sports legend Derek Jeter, and American Ballet Theater principal dancer Misty Copeland, Greatness Wins is where the demands of sport meet the science of fit. Unlike other athletic brands that prioritize fashion over performance, Greatness Wins combines high-performance functionality with a modern, stylish fit. Made from premium, long-lasting fabrics, Greatness Wins products are built to withstand the toughest workouts. In fact, the Greatness Wins collection is curated and tested by the world's greatest competitors, meeting the highest standards for quality, construction, and endurance. And I've been talking about it, but I've been in the gym getting my workouts done, and I've been rocking my Greatness Wins gear, which not only looks dope, but is super comfortable to wear. Upgrade your athletic wear at greatnesswins.com now. Use code Bomani and you'll receive 25% off on your first purchase. Greatness Wins, where the demands of sport meet the science of fit. Check them out now. That's greatnesswins.com, code Bomani. All right, we still talk about Kendrick and his concert and everything he had going. Also, by the way, he showed up looking extra bloody. He showed up like, tell me what I'm not affiliated with in Bompton, sir. You let me know that right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
He was extra bloody. There's no better way to explain it than that.
He was extra bloody when he did this. And so when he first started bringing people out there, right, and they brought the hate dancers and everything else, that was one thing. Russell Westbrook was so happy to be there. So what I want to know with Russell and DeMar, Did they ask to come? Were they asked to come? Did they just come for the concert? And somebody was like, hey, man, we got laminates for y'all boys. Come on to the back.
They definitely reached out. And then when they reached out, I think they got upgraded because LeBron was there. They showed LeBron in the crowd. LeBron was, I'm sure, got the offer to be upgraded also, but was like, nah.
Oh, no. I am sure he did not.
Oh, you don't think so because he's not an LA guy?
He ain't from LA. This ain't his time.
That's fair. He is one of the best players on their team. Like Kobe ain't from LA, but they love him. Well, I guess it's different. Okay, it's entirely different.
Kobe's a little different, and who knows how that would have gone with Kobe. But I will point this out, and I talked to my man Trey about this. I don't know nobody more competent than Trevon Edwards, right? And I was made the point. For all those years, everybody around the way knew who was behind who killed Tupac. And them cats was just walking around for all that love everybody got for Tupac. Them cats was just walking around. And you know why? Because Pac wasn't from there. Pac was not one of them. The dudes that got him, one of them. Yeah. Pac, not so much. All of that's to say, if Pac was getting the not like us treatment, even though they loved him, there was no room for LeBron. If LeBron would have jumped up on that stage, Russell Westbrook might have hit him in the head with a bottle.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Would you?
But you know he wanted it though. You know he wanted to be there.
He did. Does it? I guess because they're basketball players and they're at this level. Because I know you mentioned like DeMar and Drake were like close at one point. Is there any second thought to this? Because like you don't have to be up there.
DeMar from Compton.
I know he is.
If it come down to Compton or he picked a side. That's the thing. Everybody, I think it's in line with what you pointed out there. Everybody that made a decision to be on that stage, that's picking a side. Right. Like you can't then go call Drake up and be like, oh man, it was just a concert. We was just having a good time. No. It is a clear declaration when you went on that stage on that night where you stood.
You didn't have to pick a side though, which I mean, I know that. Yes. I don't know their relationship. I don't know Drake personally. It seems pretty obvious to me if I was given an opportunity to pick a side. It seems obvious what side I would pick, but my guess is like you a young, rich dude, Drake be out here having fun. Like I want to go to those parties too. I don't know. I guess DeMar DeRozan and Russell Westbrook are not that young anymore. If they was 22, it'd be a different story. Those dudes as adults with kids and they got different priorities now.
Russ cared more about moving in LA than he cared about moving in any of them other places. That's number one. Number two, Kendrick made it impossible for you to kick it with Drake and be a credible person.
That's amazing.
Right? Like, think about this. Think about this. Ty Dolla $ign just made an album with Kanye West. Ty Dolla $ign stood on this stage with Kendrick, stood at this event with Kendrick Lamar, which is to say, I won't be doing those songs with no Drake. You know why? Because, hey, I do think that you might be able to come out here and kick it with Kendrick and then go like maybe do something with Drake to get some money. You will not be over there kicking it with Drake and then come over here and hang with Kendrick. Not now. No, sir. Not at this point. Did you see Ricky Rose showed up at the concert? The Weeknd showed up at the concert? Like, what is it? It was one thing when Drake did that concert and it was all about Dog and Meek Mill with all the memes. This
is major league. That was like minor league. That's like I mentioned, that's street fight stuff. Like, all right, we just gonna figure some stuff out on the fly. I'm not a trained assassin. This dude is Ocean's 11 level. Like, you are in a different league. And the only criticism that I could have of all of this is I get why you put John Stockton name in the song. Like, I get the reference. However, that's a name that I don't need in the song. Like, that's one name check that I could do without. I could do without a John Stockton. I mean, I understand. You could have figured out something else that fit more.
Are you like standing up for the honor of John Stockton?
No, the opposite. No, I'm saying that like that's one name that I mean that's like right now we're in this Juneteenth, this aggressively black event, despite the fact that it seemed like it was 50-50, and everybody there talking about I'm John Stockton. Oh, that made my skin made the hairs on my skin stand up a little bit.
Fair. He told Drake if he just give Pac ring back, it could be over. And if you Drake, you got to think about it, right?
No, that's a setup, man. That's a setup.
I'm just saying, if you Drake, you gotta consider.
How do you get out of this if you Drake now? You just ignore it and keep trucking?
Here's what I would recommend to Drake. Okay? It's just me talking. This is what I would recommend to Drake. The OVO Fest. He does that in July, right? That's coming up. And it's possible that Drake has been over there trying to cook up something for OVO Fest. I'm going to be honest. I don't think he has, because we would have known about it by now. Because we knew about everything that he was going to do before it happened, it seems like. Drake, don't. Let it go. Let it go. What you need to do is either come out here with some brand new heat, or you need to really lean in on your greatest hits and be like, yo, remember all the good times that we all had? But son, ask yourself, what must I do for this man raise up his gun again? You don't want this man to raise up his gun again, because if this man raise up his gun again, he gonna pistol whip you with it, and you don't want to get pistol whipped.
This is the end of it, though. Like, I think this was the culmination. Like, I'm not suggesting that Drake need to go at him, but I'm saying you don't come back. You just did the Juneteenth. You played the song 5 times in a row. You don't got nothing else. You done, man. Like, we know.
So here's what might save Drake. Okay. I mean, people talk about the end of the Rumble in the Jungle in this 8th round when Ali finally went on the offensive and he stole off on Foreman, and Foreman started stumbling. He had a chance to hit him once more, and then he just leaned back, let him fall because the moment was too perfect, right? Like, he didn't want to mess up the shot, basically. And Not Like Us is that quality of a song that maybe it's like you don't want to mess it up, right? It's so dope. It's so iconic. It's everything. You're not going to be able to top it. You don't want to mess it up. However, I feel very confident that man got some more songs. And it might be songs that he think are better than Not Like Us, because he didn't even necessarily assume that Not Like Us was going to be the end. He didn't think that. He dropped that Not Like Us, and it just turned out to be such a banger. I'm just saying, if you Drake, I would not operate on the assumption that there's nothing left. I think there's plenty. This man just threw a whole concert bringing LA together, powered by hatred of you.
You can't be on the defensive. Like, that's where Drake really lost this battle, is Kendrick's punches landed and Drake was trying to explain them away, which is not a diss track. That's a defense track. And defense tracks don't stick around. And so, like, he don't have a track that he can go out there and drop on him. And he can't land a punch now. Like, it's too late. This battle has been defined. The way that we're going to measure who wins this battle has been clearly defined, and it's measured by authenticity. And you can't win an authenticity off against a man who went to a church with no windows and no music. So, like, look, it is what it is. You got to lean in. And I think him going funny man route, where he like doing songs over the beats, like, that's all you can do. And he got to laugh at it. He got to shout them out. He got to be like, look, I'm so happy that I could bring together. Like, he got to do a whole joke OVO Fest and then move on and essentially like try to downgrade the intensity on this beef and say, y'all had y'all fun. That was cool. But you know who got these hits though? And they just rattle off all them number ones, just number one after number one, and hope we forget.
All right, so like, you remember at the end of Purple Rain when Prince is killing it and he's doing "Baby I'm a Star" and they show Morris in the front row, like he was jamming with it. Shout out to Morris. Morris don't get enough credit for that, even as a fictional character, right? Like, he was like, oh, okay, nah, this is jamming and I want to jam too, right? Like, he decided he was gonna do that. Maybe Drake just need to go ahead and do that. And I'm not saying that Drake need to do that for himself. I'm saying Drake need to do that for his staff, because you know good and damn well, man, that Drake's staff, like, for them, it's got to be a little tough. You know, they there's somebody around Drake that night and they want to watch that concert. You know what I'm saying? That's what they wanted to do. Drake from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock Eastern, Drake calling all his homies like, yeah, what y'all doing? And they all send him straight to voicemail. They all busy watching this. Hey, Drake, what you been up to tonight? Oh, man, just had some girls over here.
I don't know if this is true or not, but this might just be a credit to Kendrick framing this argument, but Drake feels like the type that when them checks stop, there's gonna be some empty the notebook on his ass. There's gonna be some true stories. They're gonna Ellen DeGeneres this man. Like it feels like Kendrick Lamar is different in that he's one of them people that you feel like you proud to work for, and when the checks stop, you like, man, that was a great experience. I do one more year for free. Drake, and this is, again, I don't know Drake. I haven't read any stories about the way he treats his people or anything like that, but this is solely based off the way Kendrick has framed him and the fact that he don't got too many people in the industry defending him. It just feel like he better keep them checks coming to them people because it's going to get uglier.
It's going to get bad. It's going to get bad. You're right. Like, clearly, nobody has been like, yo, I stand with my dog regardless. Actually, no. My man EJ at Wave, he has decided that he stands with Drake regardless. He even sent me a text about it. He said he can't turn his back on Drake in a time like this. And I would. I wouldn't even know Drake the next time I saw him in the cafeteria.
No disrespect to EJ and Wave, but EJ and Wave don't have to do that publicly. Like no celebrities is out here doing that. EJ and Wave is doing this amongst his friends. If EJ and Wave had a public persona that he cared about and that he was eating off of, would he give some of his public cachet and frankly the money that he is making up in order to take some of this heat for Drake?
I mean, I wouldn't personally. Couldn't be
Baby had his back, right?
I haven't heard anything from Baby.
The fact of the matter is, you got Wayne, you got Nicki, and they ain't saying nothing.
Right fast. I just want to throw this in here right fast. If you guys could pull up this clip of Baby at the jail. Right here.
Can I help y'all? We have no access to. We have no access to. I have enough power to make that happen. Okay, well, we need inside help for as leadership, for these guys having books to read upon the criminal of the law. You think reading books wrong? I have no disrespect to reading books.
No disrespect to reading books.
Yes. There it is right there. No disrespect to reading books. So if those hadn't seen it, that's Birdman, Baby from Cash Money. And he had in jail. He's like, I got power to do things. And a dude in classic New Orleans fashion with the full accent will be needing his literature. Because quietly, them boys use a lot of big words down there. You wouldn't expect it, but they do. He's a literature. And Baby said, you think books is going to help you? No disrespect to reading books.
I mean, what do Baby think gonna help them though? Like, either you gonna lead a revolution, a revolt right now, Baby, or you gonna give us something to read.
Oh my God! He said, no disrespect to reading books. Like as if he looked over and saw the reading books took offense.
Yeah, he was like, reading books about to whoop his
somewhere
ass.
In there, he realized how he's even in a jail. You know how it sounds to be like, you want to read? Oh, hold on. Reading is power.
It's the proudest I've been of books in a long time. Books got Baby scared.
Yeah. Yes, they did. But I'm going to throw this out here. And I feel like this is another interesting thing about that concert is that, so LA is just kind of isolated, right? Like it's over there. And Black LA is very isolated, right? Like Black LA is to itself within that city. And Kendrick said the thing about, the need for this concert. He's like, look, man, Nipsey died, Kobe died, the world shut down. Like the fact that he was talking about it's a must we outside. Like there really was a very LA-centric element to this. And I wonder if part of it too for these LA cats is when these industry dudes come to LA, some of them, they all got the need to go to the hardest neighborhoods and these other places to prove things that I wouldn't need to prove if I was rich. But they come into LA, they come into LA to do the other LA stuff, right? Like this is the LA that the rappers from out of town ain't doing but so much real interacting in. I don't know if those are the people that were actually at the concert itself, but that was who the concert was for. That was what the concert was about is, hey man, we have had it rough the last 5 years. We lost our rapper, we lost our hooper, we lost a lot in the course of this time. And that one man decided he was going to bring the gangs together, every section, every part, all of that, all together. And everybody knew that they was coming together to hate Drake. That's gotta hurt.
It's gotta hurt, but it also is a kind of a credit. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to spin it, but it felt to me like I couldn't remember another event that felt like this. The last one was like Beyonce at Coachella. Kind of felt like, and it's probably because I watched it the same way. Like I watched it at my house, and it felt like everybody was doing it, and it felt like black in some ways that felt authentic. And despite the fact that it's in Coachella, it's in the Forum, and it was probably 60% white in there based on my scan of the crowd, but it still felt like something that was unique in a cultural moment. Drake is at the center of that. He was the beginning of it. He was the end of it. That says something about your level of import and your level of import to the culture that you are not authentically a part of. So I don't know. That's the best spin I can put on it.
That's nice of you, Dominique. That was really nice of you. You know what I'm saying? Like I know you be out here wearing them funny color shirts sometimes, right? And like that's that. I don't know if when you get those, you got a need to defend Drake on that. I think you make a very good point that it took a lot to do that. But here's the counterpoint that throws that all away. Part of what Kendrick was showing was like you could never do it. You could never even do this for your own city. Like, because one of the things that people talk about is how Drake has not really put folks on from his own city in this position that he's in. Kendrick was out there putting on everybody from the city. He looking at Drake like, could you do that? Like, why? Don't be surprised if OVO Fest turned out to be a bunch of Toronto rappers ain't nobody heard of.
I mean, I guess that's the other move is he got to go hyper local, but like it doesn't feel like he is as authentically ingrained in that part of the culture that he wants to be, because that's how you answer. But you can't answer LA with Toronto though. That's no disrespect, Toronto, but
hey, look, that's your look. You got to hold it down for your spot. Start there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You got to start there. You know the worst thing about Drake is, let's be honest about this, right? Drake got to be sad right now, right? You would be sad, right? Like this legitimately should be something that could make somebody sad. And I understand that sadness. But we know what kind of songs Drake make when he's sad. Drake gonna come out here with some songs about drunk dialing Kendrick and asking for forgiveness, or like how I want to make a call, to try to fix this, but I can't. Right? Like the way that Drake responds to sadness, I don't know. I just don't know if he's equipped to handle the level of trauma that's been inflicted upon him.
I think this should be encouraging though to you and to me, because like there are lots of the stuff that became popular in this, or like hip hop culture, I guess, ways to talk and ways to behave that became popular because Drake was making money on it. And I think a lot of us who are not like as young or as connected to that was like, oh, these new brothers are different and I'm not sure I like it. It's clear that they just didn't have an alternative. And they was like, oh yeah, that's what I like. It's obvious to me. And it's encouraging to the youth. Like, it sounds ridiculous in some ways, but you pass some judgment on people based on the things that they like attach themselves to. And so if somebody is like connected to Kendrick, you're like, all right, we can rock with this. If you like, I don't miss an OVO show. If Drake coming to town, I'm gonna be there. I catch every Drake drop. It's like, oh, I don't know. And so I'm happy that the people that are closest to me are not like that.
Yes. I got one last question for you, Dominique. One last one. After the success of that concert, how many different ways is Jason Tatum going to try to say not like us in the course of the victory parade?
Jason Tatum seems to learn from his experiences, and I think that he felt the pushback, and so he is going to realize that be authentic. Authenticity, like that's the best way to go. So whatever comes to your mind, whatever you feeling, you say it. Don't copy it, just say it. like the wild part was I had to do a cycle on Get Up about him saying what they gonna say now. When I was like, you realize that Steph said that in response to him not winning Finals MVP. It was essentially saying, I did it all except for this. What they gonna say now? I know exactly what they gonna say now to you, Jason. Whether it's fair or not, they gonna say, do it as the A1. Get you an MVP trophy, regular season, conference finals, NBA finals. That's what they gonna say now.
Kevin Garnett said that in 2008 in the midst of all his other rehearsed things that he did. Oh, wow. Michael Porter Jr. was at the concert.
Oh, not on stage, though.
No.
I always love seeing basketball players near regular people. I love it.
Right, just being 6'10".
Yeah, just watching. I mean, even Westbrook and DeRozan, just watching them walk around on stage with a bunch of normal sized dudes is like, oh yeah. they
like
legitimately
those
are not
dudes
like us.
they might as well be 6'10" around some rappers. Like Kendrick don't look so short when he out there with rappers.
Yeah, because he looks closer to the height of all the 5'10" dudes that's around him. Because 6'6", 6'5", 6'4". It's just funny watch. And then it's also like the build of people who make a living playing sports. It's like those two guys walking around all shoulders with a bunch of people who is all tummy. It's like, y'all looking real sad out there.
It means something different when you call it a tummy. Like, because you're right, those are tummies, right? Like those are tummies. And like when you're out here rocking a tummy.
It's just Russ walk around 6'3" and just shoulders everywhere. And then y'all just out there like with rags and stuff hanging out. Like, you're not the ideal specimen.
That is Dominique Foxworth. Check him out on the Dominique Foxworth Show, available where all fine podcasts are given away for free. My man, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, Sean, you got prize picks for the people.
I sure do. It's Friday, which means Stanley Cup playoffs. This is the first hockey picks I've given on the show, but let's go with Connor McDavid, 0.5 assists. I'll take more there. Stuart Skinner, Edmonton's goalie, 26.5 goalie saves. I'll take more there. And Vladimir Tarasenko on the Florida Panthers. Bo, I know you're very familiar with him. 1.5 shots on goal. I'll take more there.
Thank you for giving some identifying characteristics on some of those guys. I do know who Connor McDavid is. Like that right there. I was up on Connor McDavid game. Yep. Otherwise, I don't know nothing about who those people are. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here on The Right Time. Hit the voicemail line 323-596-7767. 323-596-7767. Tell us, it could be you, it could be somebody else, but just an irrational hatred for an athlete. It don't even have to be a star. Like my brother got a homeboy that he used to hate Steve Kerr and wanted to come out of the crowd and fight him when he was a player. Because you know when it's just like, yo, maybe this is going a little bit too far. 323-596-7767. Anyway, that's Sean Yu, handles everything behind the scenes. Thank you, sir. Remember, follow The Right Time. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars. I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. We'll talk to you guys in a couple of days. Take it easy.